kill him, utterly annihilate him with your first strike. This may be considered the application of attack in its purest form.
I never wanted this.
28,000 years in the future, the Emperor of Man wages a bloody crusade across the stars to reunite the lost human colonies and forge a lasting imperium. His mighty armies are bioengineered, power-armored transhuman warriors, the Legiones Astartes, the Space Marines. Leading his gargantuan campaign of conquest in all directions from Terra are his 18 sons, the Primarchs, fearsome warriors carved from the Emperor's own flesh and wrought by genecraft whose creation is only understood by their godlike father. For 200 years the crusade raged on, cutting through swathes of Xenos, mutants, and humans who refuse to bend the knee, but the glorious realm of man has a mighty weakness, a flaw so systemic it will set the entire galaxy aflame. With lies, half-truths, and promises of glory, the dark gods of chaos, primordial powers who reside within a shadow dimension known as the Warp, convince Horus Lupercal, the War Master and greatest of the Primarchs, to turn against his father in the greatest act of betrayal the universe has ever seen.
And if I cannot save it from your failure, father, then let the galaxy burn.
To begin his insurrection, Horus rallied 3 of his brother Primarchs and their legions to join his own sons of Horus, the Emperor's children, the Death Guard, and the World Eaters. And after purging the loyalist ranks of their own legions on Isstvan 3 with a savage viral bombardment and firestorm, the heretics dug in on Isstvan 5 to await the Emperor's response. To crush the seditious traitors, the Emperor dispatches 7 of his loyal sons and their mighty legions, the Night Lords, the Iron Hands, the Salamanders, the Raven Guard, the Iron Warriors, the Word Bearers, and the Alpha Legion. But in one of the bloodiest betrayals of the entire Horus Heresy, 4 of the supposedly 7 loyal legions turned to the War Master at the critical juncture of the battle, and the Iron Hands, Raven Guard, and Salamanders are massacred almost to complete annihilation by their erstwhile brothers. With 9 legions now sworn to his banner, 3 loyal legions effectively out of the fight, Horus began his march to Terra to depose his father and claim the throne of mankind. In spite of the bloody success of the insurrection's beginning, Horus knew there was one man and one legion who could change the fate of the galaxy: Rabute Guilliman and the mighty Ultramarines. The vaunted 13th Legion hail from the 500 worlds of Ultramar and are the largest legion of all, having more than double of many of the smaller legions, and their Primarch, Rabute Guilliman's tactical acumen, is second only to the Emperor. Horus knew they must be destroyed. Ultramar must burn. He turned to his most loyal brother, the first of all Primarchs to turn to the dark gods of chaos, Lorgar Aurelian, and his 17th Legion Word-Bearers. Before word of the heresy had reached Ultramar, the Word-Bearers approached as loyal brothers and assembled beside their brethren on the Ultramar planet of Calth, but in a single moment the fate of Ultramar was changed forever, and the bloodiest battle of the Horus Heresy began. Welcome to the Mark of Calth. Lorgar's surprise assault began with the simultaneous destruction of the primary orbital defense platform and a scrap code infection of the Calth noosphere. This allowed the traitors to take control of the superorbital weapons grid, and along with their massive fleet of battle-ready ships, they began to ravage the docked fleet of the Ultramarines. The weapons grid itself focused on the biggest targets, destroying a fortified moon, an asteroid Mechanicum station, and then began to fire at the Viridius star itself, the very sun of Calth system. This would eventually cause the great star to go nova and utterly irradiate Calth into a radioactive wasteland, but before the final death for the planet, there was an incredibly important ritual to begin. On the planet's surface, things were even more bloody. The huge hordes of cult zealots loyal to the 17th, Titan legions, Night Houses, and Dark Mechanicum loyal to the War Master and the Wordbearers themselves simply turned on their former allies with no warning. Loyalists were quite literally murdered in their beds or massacred on the muster fields. Within the first few hours of the conflict, the formerly 250,000 strong legion of the Ultramarines was reduced to just under 100,000 legionaries. But the Wordbearers vastly underestimated the resolve and determination of Guilliman's finest. Instead of the utter capitulation under the sudden and vicious onslaught the Wordbearers expected, the Loyalists steeled themselves and fought back desperately to salvage something out of the calamity. Today's narrative battle report marks the beginning of a 4-month campaign unfolding here on Zorpazorp and over on Broadsword Wargaming, and is unlike any Warhammer content you have ever seen before. This campaign has been in the works for over 2 years and was shot back in April with an early access copy of the 2nd edition of the Horus Heresy, courtesy of Games Workshop. The campaign follows the events of the New York Times bestseller and Dan Abnett masterpiece, No Fear, and the first 2 episodes are live right now, right here, and a 2nd episode over on Broadsword Wargaming. So be sure to check that out after this one, but without further ado, let's meet the hero of our story and start the Mark of Calth. In the streets of Numinous City, Captain Remus Ventanas of the 4th Company and his faithful Sergeant Kaios Celaton were isolated from their company at the Erid muster fields when the assault began. Fearing for their loyal brothers of the 4th Company, they linked up with Archmagos Mir Edvatorin and her small Skitarii cohort and began to coordinate a rendezvous. They gathered any loyalist elements from the outskirts of the city and fled through the sewer network to Leptius Numinous, the old governor's palace on the plains of Dera. As a non-military target and a historical palatial court of very little importance, it had escaped orbital bombardment and was the perfect place for the survivors of 4th Company to unite with Ventanas and Celaton. But even more importantly, Leptius Numinous houses an offline data engine that has not been infected by the Dark Mechanicum scrap code. This data engine is of paramount tactical importance, as it may be able to rebuild the new sphere, re-establish communication for the loyalist elements, and maybe, just maybe, even take back control of the orbital weapons grid. But to get the old engine running, Archmagos Mir Edvatorin needs time. So Remus Ventanas and the loyalist forces garrison themselves within the aged and crumbling walls of the historical castle and await the inevitable assault from the forces of the 17th. Captain Sidance of the 4th Company Erid Muster is on the way to support them, but the Wordbearers and their cultist hordes have caught the scent of this feeble resistance. The fog swirls around the battlements of the regal fortification, but in the plains beyond, power-armored shapes loom through the mist. Armor the color of red. The battle for Calth has only just begun.
Officer of Record, start the mark.
So Ventanas and the Loyalist forces are bunkered down in Leptius Numinous, and we are waiting for the assault. It's time to dive into the Wordbearer movement, and you have got a whole horde down here, Ollie. Take it away.
The cold hordes of the 17th Legion threw themselves at Leptius Numinous, driven onwards by their masters from the rear. The Kalmendori poured across the causeway at full speed, desperate to get at the defenders. The ragged Jayawanate scrambled down the escarpment into the culvert, clinging to their primitive spears, knives, and salvaged firearms, driven on by a battle lust and fervent madness instilled by their handler. The more experienced Ushmeta Karl surged out across no man's land between the crumbling fortifications. The Grenadiers approached calmly, readying their weapons to lay down cover fire for their beloved Cryol Faust and his command squad. Beyond the walls, the swirling fog parted to reveal Wordbearer's armored assets, risking exposing themselves to fire from the walls to help cover the advance of their embarked brothers making their approach and unleash their firepower at the fortifications.
I have advanced all of the cultists except for the Grenadiers, who are going to put some shots into these guard down here, and the missile launcher guys who are going to shoot something. I think we need to splash our way through this wall here. We've got a load of tanks, a load of guys to go. We're going to start with the tanks, and we're going to start with the Cerberus into the wall. Okay, it has D3 shots, so we are going to get one shot out of it. It hits on 3s. It does hit. It's strength 10. The wall is armor 14. A 4, we get a glancing hit.
A single hull point from the Cerberus's glancing hit opens the Wordbearer shooting. The Sakaran Venator unleashed its neutron laser, scoring a deep gouge into Leptius Numinus's outer wall, and the penetrating hit only knocked off a single hull point, although the defenders above were forced to go to ground and will only be snap firing next turn. The standard Sakaran unloaded up onto the battlements, its las cannon sponsons vaporizing one of the Ultramarines, and the accelerator autocannon piercing the armor of 2 more, reducing a total of 3 4th Company veterans to pulped meat. The rest of the squad bravely passed their morale after a reroll with the Legion Vexilla, and then the Jehoanate Cult Special Weapons Squad unloaded their ramshackle improvised missile launchers into the wall, desperate to breach the outer structure so their advancing brethren could pour through the gap.
Now we're going to shoot the Grenadiers into the guard down here, and we are going to get 18 shots with Laslocks. We get +1 strength as well for the Cult Special rule. We're hitting on 3s. Ooh, that's a lot of misses. Very culty, but they are assault 1, so we can charge after this as well, and we have zealots, so we kind of have to. We're winning on 2s because we're strength 5.
+1 strength is absolutely brutal. These guys have scavenged some amazing quality Laslocks out of the Calth muster yards.
Theft of Ultimar. Okay, you've got 6 saves here of 4+ onto these guards down there.
The big 4s. Oh, only 3.
Blast templates are back, baby, and we've got 2 grenade launchers into these guys as well. Let's put one somewhere like that for 5 guys and one somewhere like that for 4 guys. Now we do need to scatter these as well.
Hold the line! Look out! Here they come! Is that the best you've got? Where's our fire support? Taking hits! We're under fire! We won't let you down, sir.
So we're kicking off one of the brand new interactions in Horus Heresy 2nd edition. It's Ollie's shooting phase, and I'm about to open fire. I'm going to react with my beautiful Imperial army down here. They just got a bit wrecked, so they're going to turn around and return fire. I've got my Auxilia las rifles and my plasma gun, all rapid firing, hitting on 3s because these guys are grenadiers, and then wounding on 4s and 2s. That is only a few. So 2 dead from the plasma gun and 6 saves for Ollie to take.
Time for payback!
My life is forfeit.
All right, that's the end of the shooting phase. We managed to kill 5 of the guards. Let's finish them off. We have Zealot on this group of Grenadiers here, so we have to charge. It is a 10-inch charge, so we need quite the dice roll. 5 is not good enough. We do still, because of Surge, now have to move 3 inches forward, but you, of course, can react. Again.
So I get to do the exact same thing again, reacting with Overwatch, all of my dudes. Let's see if we can blast some more damage into the cultists.
As the cultists stumbled in the weathering, suppressive fire of the disciplined Calth army regiments, another 4 of the Ushmeta Khal slumped dead to the plains of Dera, and the valiant shouts of the defenders roared from the battlements. But the enemy forces are legion, and these worthless whelps are but a distraction as the true enemy hurtles towards the causeway, locking their bolters and looking to the skies for the doom of Ultramar.
Chaos is strong.
For the Dark Gods!
So, the first Ultramarine turn. We weathered the initial assault pretty reasonably, and now it is time to unload. Now, one tricky element here is that all of the Ultramarines have to save their ammunition for fellow Legiones Astartes targets. I'm not allowed to unload on the cultists. We just don't have enough bolter ammunition as per our campaign special rules. So, my Secutari Peltasts and my Imperial army are absolutely key. Now, pretty much no one is going to move except for this little unit of Legiones tactical marines. These veterans are just going to fall back, and now it is time to unload in my shooting phase.
Initiating attack protocol 23.
We're here to serve, Master.
None shall stop us.
Shore up that left flank and keep firing! Kill them! Kill them all!
Attack!
Stop for no one! Don't let them get past us! Time for dead scum!
So we've done some damage to the cultists surging through the culvert and across the bridge. Now it's time to open fire with my final unit of Secutari Peltas and a Rook Ceratid, the Skitarii Master. And they're going to unload down here into these pesky little cultists. These are the big Grenadiers with the 4-up save, but I have got 30 shots from my carbines. big on crunch, hitting on 3s. So strength 3, toughness 3, we'll be wounding on 4s.
Commencing attack.
The Ushmetakal were absolutely excoriated to molten flesh by the radium carbines of the Sekutari, with only a handful of them able to raise their rifles to fire back at the Skitarii nestled in the bastion. But the single shot that pierced the aged stonework of Leptius Numinous bounced harmlessly off the armor plate of the Scions of Mars. The Loyalists launched a pretty vicious counterattack this turn, holding the line and savaging the cultist offensive. But Morpalzir, the Force commander of this splinter of Hol Belot's massive assaulting army, has many resources at his disposal. Leptius Numinous will burn, it's only a matter of time. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, this battle report and the entire campaign is based on the New York Times best-selling masterpiece, Know No Fear by Dan Abnett, and it is just one of the many amazing Horus Heresy novels you can listen to using Audible. I literally live on Audible during workshop weeks. I'm talking 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. I am smashing Horus Heresy audiobooks or the works of Tolkien, and it is the most immersive and engaging way to dive into the lore of the Warhammer you love and the perfect accompaniment to your hobby time. The Black Library Horus Heresy audiobook series is utterly brilliant. There's nearly 150 titles written by a phenomenal team headed up by Dan Abnett and supported by legends like Aaron Dembski-Bowden and Graham McNeil, and the voice acting is utterly amazing. Know No Fear is read by Gareth Armstrong, who you heard voicing Gilliman in the intro, and you'll hear again in some epic narrative sequences throughout the rest of the game. I challenge you to listen to those and not desperately crave to slam on the audiobook as soon as you're back at the hobby bench. The new Audible app makes it easy to sit and listen anytime, anywhere, and new members can try Audible for free for 30 days. Just visit audible.com/Zorpazorp or text Zorpazorp to 500 if you're in the US, and you can be sure that you'll fall in love with Audible before you have to buy. As an Audible member, you can choose one title to keep from their entire catalog each month, including the latest bestsellers and new releases, and of course, the Horus Heresy series, and all Audible members now also get access to a growing selection of titles that is included with the membership. So head over to audible.com/Zorpazorp, the link is down below, and dive deep into the world of Warhammer audiobooks.
It's the start of the Word Bearer's turn 2. That first round didn't go amazingly well. I suppose we were charging useless cultists at a giant fortress. They all died miserably. We did a few hit points off the main thing here and a couple of dead space marines, but that was about it. But now, at the start of the second turn, we get to roll for reserves. And I've got a few little tricks up the old sleeve here. I've got a Baneblade to come on, which hopefully can lay havoc to some of this. I've got 20 pointless identical twin cousins, coincidentally to the cultists that died, to come on reserve. And the big thing is, using the new Deep Strike Assault rule, I have 30 jump pack guys to come on. I've got 2 squads of 10 Ashen Circle and 10 destroyers, and they hopefully are going to land in this nice gap here and around here and do some flaming and killing of these guys.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty terrified of that. That is going to be fierce for my defensive line.
There's a lot of flamers, right?
Yeah,
and a lot of rad phage, so let's see what we can do. Right, first off, we'll roll for, on 3+, we'll roll for the pointless cultists. Let's do this. Yeah! Come on, cultists. So we're going to bring 20 guys on here. The Grenadiers, they are elite of the garbage people. Then we've got the Baneblade on the 3+. Yeah, 5. Ooh, straight up smashing through the walls, ready to lay down some fire upon these hapless Ultramarine defenders. And finally, the big one now. They all come on together. So 1 dice on the 3+, all 3 units come on, or we fail miserably. No! We rolled a 1, which isn't the best of dice rolls.
Wherever you wish.
Heretics. Chaos, consume us! We will strip the flesh from their bones. I have the enemy in my sights. We will strike them down for the glory of chaos!
All weapons primed. Deploying now. To battle. Exit quickly. We are Legion. Let's fly all guns. Hammer them till they fall.
We're under fire! By the Emperor. Destroy! Destroy!
All right, we've been doing some firing and we've done 7 hit points so far to the wall, But a cheeky las cannon sponsor off the Baneblade has managed to do a penetrating hit on the wall. So we've rolled on the chart and we rolled a 7+, so I rolled a 5, AP1 for +2, for a total collapse. Now this would normally destroy the terrain piece, but because we've got a narrative mission here, it would do 2d6 damage to the models, but we're going to do 2d6 hit points to the wall. So it's currently lost 10, it has 24, I can get a maximum of 12, let's see what we do. I'd like this blown up please, or near enough. 10! Oh, brutal! It's lost 20 hit points now, it only has 4 whole points left. That's pretty good.
There will be nothing left to bury.
Taking damage. Taking hits.
Right, I've got 5 cultists with ad hoc custom crossbow missile launchers, and they're going to blast into this bastion up here with the regal Ventanus hanging out of the top. Our plan is to blow it up, knock him down to the floor, and move forward. So, let's do some dice rolls. 4 hits, pretty juicy. We've got 2 wounds, or 1 penetrating and 1 glancing. What do? 5, 6, 7, total destruction, baby! So that blows up, and everyone in there takes 2d6 strength 6 hits as well.
The enemy is attacking! Taking heavy fire!
So I spend months building this amazing board and Ollie just decides to blow massive holes in it. I've lost the guys garrisoned in the top battlement, and the 2 Secutari who have been blown away and survived, they now get to make a 6-inch move. They're just gonna fall towards their squad mates and cling onto the battlements, but this explosion has landed across the whole upper gatehouse, and Ventanus and Celaton are the only 2 members alive in the top of the battlement, and the rest of their squad, they're gonna use their 6-inch move to get blasted down into the courtyard to kind of tactically reposition into a much more useful place. Some gorgeous models painted by Sloan Doherty from Sloan Ranger Studio are ready to receive the word bearer charge.
Maintain attack formation. Stay vigilant, brothers.
The Space Marines have entered the battle. We have 20 bearers of the word down here, and for the first time we're going to hear bolter rounds in this match. So we've got 10 guys here, we're going to shoot up at these, and then we've got 10 other Space Marines who are going to shoot your Space Marines. It's time for some fraternal death. So the first 10 shooting into the guys on the top there, on the tower, hitting on 3s, 6 shots, and then we're wounding on 3s.
So 3 saves on my Secutari. They're 4+ saves, 1 fail, but I've also got my 6+ feel no pain.
You do indeed.
Oh, it's not enough. 1 Secutari falls, and now it is on to the second set of the bearers of the word. Another 10 bolters in hot.
Here we go, hitting on 3s. Strength 4, V toughness 4, bolter against power armor.
4 saves on the boys in cobalt blue. Let's see if I can land blocks.
Pretty good.
Oh,
3 dead.
3 down. So, reaction time. My Secutari are going to rip back at that Wordbearer squad at the back Rhino. 27 shots, though, with the Radium dudes. And we're hitting on 3s, 5s to wound, and only AP 5. So we're going to get power armor saves against this. And it's rubbish. 3 4 armor saves for the Wordbearers.
3+ saves. 1 gone. On to the combat phase. I've got 2 squads of cultists who can charge, and they have to charge because of the cult provenance. So we've got Zealot. So here we need an 8-inch charge. And we fail. Good job, guys. And over here we need a 6-inch charge, and we make it in.
Just in. All right, before you move any models, I am going to be using my Overwatch reaction there to get 1 final blast.
Despite failing the charge, the Carl Mandori surge forward half their move, but don't face any withering fire as Lachie chooses to use his single Overwatch reaction this phase against the Ushmeta Carl command squad. Another turn passes with the word bearers failing to breach the walls, but the foundations of Leptius Numinous are cracking, and debris and dust now mingles with the fog hanging low across the plains of Dara. The rapid patter of frantic cultist footfalls is now drowned out by the steady thud of power-armored boots. The Loyalist forces have one last chance to hold the line before the real battle begins.
So, Loyalist turn 2, and this is kind of my last sort of chance to really dish some pain while I've got control of the board, because I think it's about to break open next turn. The wordies are sprinting across the bridge, and that deep strike is coming. So, I'm going to have to do something with the last remnants of my Imperial army, get Ventanus up to the gate, solidify this position, and then it's time to open fire.
Strike true and strike with precision! Stop for no one! None will escape! I command in the name of the Emperor, with courage and honor. Fear our wrath.
So we're going to open our big turn of shooting right here at the gate and see if we can hold the bridge for one more turn. I've got both my Imperial Army squads. We're going to do them all together. We have got all of the Auxilia las rifles. They're hitting on 3s, targeting these cultists, wounding on 3s as well with the extra strength bonus. So 4 dead from the rapid firing plasma guns and 13 armor saves for Ollie to take.
Storm them! Who wants some more? Kill them! Kill them all!
So we cleared away the cultists. Now it's time for the Ultramarines to show the boys how it's done. I've only got 6 guys left in this tactical squad, but Celaton and Remus Ventanus are there, so that is 8 rapid-firing bolters. And we're just going to start wrecking these word bearers crossing the bridge, hitting on 3s, of course, and wounding on 4s. It's the classic Heresy Marine-on-Marine occasion. Fratricide!
6 saves, 3+. Come on, lads. Ooh, bit grim. 3 dead.
So 3 down, Remus Ventanus doing the job, but I think their friends are going to have something to say about it, Ollie.
We are going to shoot back. You don't really suffer any penalties to hit here, so hitting you on 3s, on 4s.
Oh, look at
fine.
that. Nothing.
Tanked it.
Nothing. So the Gate Bastion have dealt some pain here. We've done a bit of damage to the cultists and the wordies. Now it's time for the rest of the garrison to unload and try and sap this word-bearer force before the reserves arrive.
We will crush the enemies of the Imperium. Initiating attack protocol 23. Eat bolt gun! Nothing can stop us now.
With absolute carnage unfolding in the first 2 turns of the game, it's time to make a sacrifice to the Dark Gods, so like the video, subscribe, and comment down below your favourite Space Marine vehicle to give yourself a chance to win an epic reinforcement bundle for your Heresy forces, including the new Deimos Rhino, the Kratos battle tank, and a full set of heavy and special weapons. It's the perfect follow-up if you just grabbed the Age of Darkness box set. Congratulations to Dan Wood on winning the Age of Darkness giveaway. Dan was a fan of some great battlegrounds in the Heresy, and the Saturnine Gate is a worthy favourite indeed. Remember, if you are gearing up for Horus Heresy, use my affiliate links down in the description to grab the best prices in the UK, Australia, the EU, the US and Canada, and you'll get some incredible discounts and send some dollary dues back to support the channel and power on the march to terror.
So the beginning of turn number 3, and it is all about to kick off. Now I've still got tactical squads and my Imperial Army command up here in the battlements because it's all about maintaining board control. Ollie's objective is to pierce this wall, get the Bane Blade and some controlling units behind the battlements. So I've had to spread my forces thin because I know his deep strike is coming. So what can I do when that arrives? Hopefully blast the crap out of it, like I tried to do down here at the gate. The Imperial Army have done a great job. The cultists are gone, but there is more word bearers on the way, and they are about to dish some pain. So let's jump into Ollie's reserves, and we'll see how bad it's going to hurt the Loyalist forces on Calth.
Up first for the reserves, we have a Land Raider with 10 tactical troops in, and Force Commander Morpelzia. Samus is here. And because of Ventanus, we need a 4+. Yes! Come on! That's it. He's come on this turn with a nice 6.
Land Raider deployed.
Next up, it is 2 squads of 10 Ashen Circle, 10 destroyers, all coming in on Deep Strike Assault. We need a 4+. Yes, here we go. Another
Big
6.
broadsword 6.
Whoosh!
We can taste their blood already. They will not escape us. We will tear the flesh from their bones. Death from above! We shall strike them from the skies! You cannot overcome us!
We've landed down on the ramparts here. I've got both the squads of Ashen Circles, and when they come down, they have a Burning Descent as their special rule. So every model that is underneath, within D6 inches, so 2 inches, suffers a Strength 3 hit, so nothing there. One guy here, so this guy here suffers a Strength 3 hit.
Does he catch on fire?
He doesn't, he's fine. Okay.
He's fine. All right, what about our other squad up the back there?
Up here, right. So we'll do again another D6 inches from over there, 5 inches.
Ooh, big 5.
Okay. 10 dudes.
All right, so they're toughness 3, strength 3. You're looking at 4s to wound. My beautiful Imperial Army.
Here we go. 5 saves there.
Show me those ultimas. My 4+ save. Oh,
4
4
gone.
guys out of the command squad.
See ya.
Where's our fire support? No, I'm hit.
So Ollie has assaulted me with some deep strike, and it's looking pretty severe. I've got to take pinning tests for every unit within 6 inches. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to do much about it. So let's check out my tacticals up here at the top. Leadership 9 for Marines, they're fine. I've got my veteran tacticals in the middle. They're fine as well. That Ultima scared me. The command squad are also fine, and the final squad of Legionaries, nobody is pinned. Now that is key because it means that I've got my full options for making the Interceptor reaction. Another out of sequence activation here, and I'm going to choose this full strength squad of tacticals, and we are going to get a chance to shoot and just unload 20 bolters straight into that Ashen Circle, who I might add are now able to shoot and assault as normal this turn. Oh my lord, please can these bolters do something. 3s to hit, 4s to wound. So Ollie has got 8 saves to make on the Ashen Circle.
Ah! Engaging the enemy! Die, scum! Feel the wrath of chaos! For the Dark Gods!
I seek glory in battle!
One only sees death. All weapons primed. We'll leave nothing standing.
Crush, kill, destroy.
Feel our wrath!
We're under fire! I'm hit!
Kill them all.
I'm hit! We cannot win!
All guns, strike true! Fire all barrels hot! Taking hits! Returning to battle. Weapons are ready. It is time.
That was a pretty effective shooting phase. We have absolutely wiped out and decimated the Imperial army. Ventanus is standing by the door with his buddies. This side is kind of won, I feel, at the moment. Up here now, we've landed down, we've done our burning descent. There's a few Ultramarines laying around, and there's a little bit of the Imperial army, just the commander left here. But we are now going to get the hand flamers out, and we have a lot of them. And we have not seen this template in quite some time. We're going to hit a lot of guys, right? That's...
Oh, every
16,
single one of these Ashen Circle models has
18,
this flame template.
19.
That's massive. And so these auto hit, right? So
Yep.
these are wound rolls.
6 wounds there.
Get them out of there.
Get out of there, Ultramarines.
Taking damage.
So Ollie's going to let me set some stuff on fire, seeming as it is this absolutely gorgeous Imperial Army Command Squad by Joe from Legionnaire Minis. Look at this gorgeous banner, little Zorpazorp symbol, and the amazing Colonel Sparzy and his little puppy dog, and they're all about to be burnt to cinders. Sorry, Joe. So we got, 4, and then another 4, that's 8, 13, 23, 40, and even 40 hits coming in. Strength 3, toughness 3. Ollie's going to be looking for 4s to wound. That squad's
Yeah, I'm not sure his power armor's going to hold up. We'll see.
Yeah. Do you have enough dice for this, Ollie?
Enough if I roll these twice. Here's the money. We've got 40 dice, wounding on 4s. That's 12 wounds in the first batch, the second batch. Right, we auto hit there, and we've done the wounds. We've done 22 saves onto you now, my friend.
Jesus. So 22 saves. I've got broken up power saves here. Carapace for the rest of the squad, they're on 4s, and my big Colonel Sparzy, he's on 3s. We're going to start throwing handfuls on the 4+ and see how many we can save, and then we'll have to worry about the power armor. So we've got a couple. That's 3 dead already, 4 dead, 5 dead. God, how many are in the squad? 6, okay. And then that's a save, that's a save. That's a fail. Okay, everyone in the squad is dead now except for Sparzy, and I've still got, like another 12 dice. We're looking for 3s. He's only got 3 wounds. And he's alive! No way! Look at this, what a roll! He only takes a wound. Colonel Sparzy is just like invincible to flame.
The last of the Imperial forces.
A quick note here for this first battle, some of the Wordbearer's custom wargear profiles are from first edition, as there was an error in our early access documents from Games Workshop, but in this new edition these flamers are even more deadly. But this was fixed for the remainder of the campaign.
The final thing to do in the shooting phase is the wall. It has 2 hull points left. I'm going to shoot the Baneblade and the Destroyer into it, and I'm pretty sure we'll finish it off.
A Baneblade, a crimson behemoth, looms out of the fog on the far side of the earthwork and lines up on the gate and west wall. The Wordbearer's Baneblade fires its battle cannon. The muzzle shock is huge, and the pressure smack puffs dust up from the ground all around it. Brotherhood warriors swarm around the bulk of the massive tank. The super heavy tank takes aim with its primary siege weapon. The Demolisher cannon clanks into alignment. A Bane blade. Ventanus knows the balance has finally and firmly tipped in favor of the Word-Bearers. Remus Ventanus is resolved to endure whatever he must endure, but he knows that resistance must crumble eventually. He clings to one hope. He clings to the whispered, relayed message from his home company. Let them be fast enough. Let them be fleet of foot and tread. Let them get here while being here still matters.
I seethe with purpose.
2 Shadow Sword tanks plow out of the fog, roiling it around their cobalt blue hulls. Cobalt blue, wearing the white and gold heraldry of the Ultima. Land raiders and rhinos churn through after them, then a trio of whirlwinds and a walking line of ultramarines 40 bodies wide. Full-scale battle is joined. For the first time since the attack on the palace began, the Word-Bearers' force is thrown into a defensive mode, prosecuted hard by an unexpected mobile foe. Behind the first walking line of ultramarines is a second and a third. Their gold and blue armor is slightly dulled by the atmospheric conditions, but still it gleams. Salvation never looked so splendid. Death never looked so noble. Captain Sidance, says Celaton, noting a standard and pointing. The 4th, Ventanus agrees. He is surprised by the level of emotion he registers. It's not just relief from the physical hazard, it's honest pride of association. His company. His company.
With the destruction of the outer wall, a custom narrative sequence is initiated, allowing all Word-Bearers units to make a full move towards the Citadel, whilst any defenders beneath the gate may withdraw to the inner courtyard. This immediately ends the traitor turn, and the 4th Company Relief Force is deployed to the board via the northern board edge. If you're excited to take part in the madness of the Mark of Calth, we'll be releasing the special rules and full custom narrative scenarios for the campaign in the coming weeks.
The Word-Bearers are converging on Leptius Numinous. They have surged the gates, the walls are breached, Captain Ventanus has fallen back inside, and the Baneblade is bearing down upon him, but the cavalry has arrived. Captain Sidance, leading the 4th Company Armored Divisions from the Arid Muster, is here to wreak some vengeance for the Ultramarines.
Bursting through the fog at the tip of the 4th Company spearhead is a mighty Shadow Sword, actually an 8th Company asset under the command of Captain Lorcus of the 9th. Protecting the Great Titan Killer's flanks are 2 4th Company Predators who take aim downfield at anything that will threaten their older brother. A Sakaran flies along the outer wall, buying time and space for Captain Sidance, the leader of the survivors of the Arid Muster ambush, to advance his Land Raider and deploy to the field with his Praetorians. 3 Rhinos bring up the rear of the force, deploying their payloads behind the cover of the armor. 2 tactical squads and a special weapons team stacked with melters, all ready to sprint forwards and swarm the enemy infantry beyond.
Move out for the glory of the Imperium. Squad deploying. Disembarking now. We are the Emperor's chosen.
Atop the walls, Colonel Sparzi sprints away from the Ashen Circle onslaught, his squad in flames around him, and takes refuge among the last of the veteran tacticals. With the Word-Bearers' forces stunned by the arrival of the spearhead, the Ultramarines press the advantage, but the Baneblade is bearing down upon Ventanus and is well beyond his means. Sidance's relief force have some work to do to save the day.
For terror!
We are taking fire! We will crush the enemies of the Imperium. We are under attack!
The Ultramarine shooting phase has kicked off. We've wiped some Word-Bearers on the bridge and on the battlements. Now it's time for some tank action. We're going to kick it off with my Predator, and he's going to unload into the rear armor 10 of the little Vindicator there. Now he's got 4 hull points, so we need 4 scoring hits. I've got my autocannon with 4 shots at strength 8 and rending, but that's not relevant here because of the low strength. We're hitting on 3s. Oh, triple 1s. All right, let's see. We need the 2 to glance. Oh, you're kidding. You're kidding. All right, I still got the heavy bolter shots. Strength 5, 3s to hits first, 5s to glance. And only 2 glancing hits. 2 hull points left. That guy's living to fight another day.
Incoming fire!
So up next is the second Predator. We're going to fire down this little corridor here, right past the battlements into the Wordbearer's Sicaran. Only the autocannon can do damage here because of the side armor 12. I have hit with 2 big broadsword 6s, and then we're strength 8. We're looking for 4s to glance, or 1 pen. 1 glance and 1 penetrating hit. Let's roll up on the damage table. If I can keep it in the box. On the damage table, and that is Krush stunned.
Starting firing solution. Fire! We will crush their skulls under our iron tracks.
Captain Side answers Land Raider. It's going to throw down some fire support. We're going to blast into the side of this Wordbearer's vehicle here. I've got my 2 twin-linked las cannons hitting on 3s. Let's see if this Strength 9 can do some work. Thankfully, the sponsons are twin-linked. Yes, there we go. Strength 9, side armor 12. We are looking for 3s to glance. Oh, a glancing and a penetrating. Now, it's AP2, so it's going to get +1 on the penetrating roll. And a 7! That is destroyed!
Spirit shall protect us. Incoming fire!
So we've pinged a few of the lighter vehicles. Now it's time to take on the Wordbearer's Baneblade. This scroll-infested abomination needs to go, and we're bringing some heavy weapons. Up first is the Sicaran, who have got absolutely insane in the new edition. 2 las cannon sponson firsts, hitting on 3s. 1 miss, they're not twin-linked in the sponson, and we're glancing on 3s. That's a big penetrating hit. Let's roll on the damage table. That's only a 2 with the +1 from AP2, so that is basically just a hull point for our purposes. We need to score 9 of them, and now we've got 8 shots coming in from the insane autocannon on the top of the Sicaran. We're hitting on 3s again. This guy's not twin-linked. At his 5 hits, strength 7, rear armor 12. We're looking for 5s to glance. No 6s, so we don't get to trigger anything, but we do get 3 glancing hits. That's 4 hull points knocked off the Baneblade. It's time to make Dan Abnett proud. We have the Ultramarines Shadow Sword, the 4th Company armored asset, cruising in through the fog to unload his Volcano Cannon straight into the back of the Baneblade. We'll start off with the little baby sponsons. We've got a couple of las cannons here, hitting on 3s. They are both hitting, and now we have got Strength 9, Side Armor 13, looking for 4s to glance, and we can re-roll this roll, but it doesn't matter. We got 2 penetrating hits. So that is 2 hull points off already, and let's see what kind of damage we get here. These guys get +1 from the AP2, so that is just another 2 hull points gone because that is a super heavy.
All cannons in ready! Fire! We are taking fire!
So now it's time for the big weapon, the Volcano Cannon, dubbed the Titan Killer. It is a huge monstrosity strapped to the chassis of a Baneblade, and it makes this Shadow Sword ready to annihilate its opposing number. We need a big 3 to hit. And we're looking at 4s, beautiful. And now it is strength 10 and rolls 3d6 and picks the 2 highest to penetrate. So that becomes strength 19, absolutely obliterating the side armor. And now we have a penetrating hit. Now this scores D3 hull points instead of 1, so that is 2 hull points coming through. The Baneblade has a single hull point left, and now the penetration roll at +2 for AP1. We're looking for a 5 here to blow this bad boy up. He is out of here!
A thick beam of blinding energy shears out of the fog and strikes the Baneblade. The impact shakes the tank, all 300 tons of it. Ventanas can hear it attempting to restart its main drive, stalled by the body blow. A second energy beam, bright as the first, scores out of the fog and misses the tank by a few meters. The third beam kills the Baneblade. It hits the hull square under the throat of the turret, and the tank ruptures and explodes.
And kaboom! The enemy threat is absolutely a molten wreck of slag.
What a savage arrival for the 4th Company Relief Force, but it ain't over yet. There is some serious ground between the Loyalist reinforcements and the surviving garrison. The defenders of Leptius Numinous are about to find out just who they're really fighting.
Okay, that was a pretty destructive Ultramarines turn. We had 3 ways to win this game, or 3 objectives I needed to do. 1 is to hold the wall. I think that's pretty comfortably done. 2 was to get the Baneblade in and to survive. Unfortunately, in grand fashion, it blew up after blowing the doors up. A bit of Ultramarine tankage did some work there. I have one last thing to do. We're currently 1-1 really on points, is to kill Ventanas, the last defender in this bastion of Ultramarine hope. Morpel Zia is here, ready to charge into the gate. This is all that matters now. It's all or nothing. Samus is here.
We'll leave nothing standing.
Fire! Pirate solution plotted. Prepare for battle. Fire!
Death to the enemy! Rejoice in the coming oblivion! You will be killed by traitors' hands! For chaos!
You are soldiers of Ultramar. No matter what comes through that gate, you will stand your ground. Really, the only thing that matters here is the big one-on-one. Morpelzir is going to sprint through the gate in the Wordbearer's turn. He's going to make a big old sexy charge, and it's going to be Ventanus versus the Force Commander of the 17th Legion.
Your soul is mine!
By my fury, they shall know the Emperor's name! For the Emperor! Charge!
Right, we're at the crux of the battle now. Morpelzir is here. He's charged into all of the Ultramarines. He has a death wish, you might think.
Ventanus, Celaton, Grievous, and Teus Sullus, the Ultramarines heroes of the Leptius Numinous defense, are ready to mince him, Ollie. Take it away.
I need to roll some dice now and kill Ventanus. So I get 5 attacks on the charge, 3 for being Centurion, 1 for a special weapon, and 1 for charging. We're hitting on 4s. Okay, pretty tasty. 3 hits. We've got a power maul, so we're +2 strength. We're wounding you on 2s.
Oh,
2 saves.
dropping
right?
1. But you're only AP3, right?
Yep.
So I've got Artificer armor, so... Oh, I do drop a wound!
Take a wound, nice.
I
leaves
drop a
you
wound.
with 2 wounds left or 3 wounds?
2 wounds left for Ventanus, only 3. He's going to return fire because he's initiative 5 as well. So he's striking back with 4 attacks, 3 base and specialist weapons. Oh, hitting on 4s, dropping 2.
Get to reroll 1?
Oh yes, I've got my master crafted power sword, the Pantheon, still not doing the business. The beautiful Gladii dropping there. And I've got 2 strikes just at value, so I'm chasing 4s to wound. I've got 1, and it is rending 5+. So that is AP2, so I snip a wound off, but you've got
indeed.
You've got a 5+ invul, right?
Yes, I do. Refractor field. No, we take a
All
laser
right.
wound here.
Ventanus nips off 1 wound, and now it's time to keep striking through the boys. Up next, we'll do Celaton. He's our Sergeant custom character with a chainsword, so that's 3 attacks. He's hitting with all, and let's see what he chases. 4s to wound. And
Nice.
2 saves.
2 saves, 2+. We drop another wound.
Celaton, he grabs another one. How many wounds does your Centurion have, Ollie?
I think 3.
3, so 1 left. 1 left. Right, we've got 2 big boys left. Let's go with Teus Sullus. He has got 3 attacks again, hitting on 4s. He's got the big axe, 2 hits. I've got 1.
Refractor field only. No!
Oh, he's gone!
We're gone.
He is out of here. And it's victory for the Ultramarines, right, Ollie?
Samus is here. Samus is here. Samus is here. I wanted that. I wanted death.
Sullus moves like a blur. Zea's torso is slashed open from the left hip to the throat in one ripping cut. He splits. Zea's backbone sprouts like a calcified tree trunk. Zea becomes a vessel. Sprouting limbs turn black and scaly. Zea's new head buds and unfolds, slowly turning up from a bowed stance. Horns sprout from the cranium, the huge upright horns of some ancient Aegean bull demon.
Samus. That's the only name you'll hear. Samus. It means the end and the death. Samus. I am Samus. Samus is all around you. Samus is the man beside you. Samus will gnaw on your bones. Look out! Samus is here!
Samus is here! The demon of the Ruin Storm is here to ruin Remus Ventanus' day. But just as Teus Sullus severed the corpse of Morpelzir, Ventanus grabbed himself a nice little athame out of the Wordbearer's belt, which is a special weapon which he can use in this narrative round of combat, which we're going to dive into right now. So this grants Remus Ventanus weapon skill 10, initiative 10, and that's pretty much his only chance. Demon Bane. If I splice a single wound onto Samus, he is vanquished. Back down to the war, back down to Erebus in the southern pole of Calth. 4 attacks with that athame, and if I don't kill Samus right now, he is going to obliterate Remus Ventanus. His profile is a beast. We're hitting on 3s with the weapon skill bonus. Ooh, I need some of those Ultimas on the wounds. That is all hitting. Chasing 1/6 at toughness 7, strength 4. 3 wounds! Get out of here, Samus! He is back down to Erebus and vanquished from Leptius Numinous Palace.
With a blood-curdling roar of virulent warp energy, the beast was gone. Samus was banished. Ventana stepped back from the swirling vortex of blackened antimatter, now fading into the mist, and the chill in the bones of his sword arm slowly began to lessen. He dropped the vile Athame and pulled Sullus and Celaton to their feet. Beyond the walls, the roar of exploding tank hulls and the war cries of the victorious 4th Company drifted upon the breeze. The 13th had held the line.
The Vox fizzles and whines. Remus. My Primarch, says Ventanus. You sound surprised. It's a bad day, sir. I can't remember a worse one.
After re-establishing contact with Fleet Command and Primarch Guilliman using the Leptius Numinous data engine, the Loyalist forces on Calth had laid the groundwork for a counter-offensive. But until the control of the orbital weapons grid currently annihilating the Ultramarines fleet and the very sun of the Viridius system was re-established, all efforts would be futile. Sadly, while the old data engine had successfully facilitated a rebuild of the New Sphere, re-established a tactical data feed and Vox network for the Loyalist forces, it was nowhere near powerful enough to run the orbital weapons grid, and even if it could, control must first be wrested from the traitor forces running the grid from orbit. So, a theoretical was devised and a practical enacted. Up in orbit, Primarch Guilliman himself would lead an assaulting kill squad on the Zetson Veridyard orbital platform to destroy the Wordbearer's held data engine, but down on the surface, Ventanus will have an even greater task. Rallying all loyalists at his disposal, the 4th Company muster will return to the now heavily fortified Numinous city and strike deep into the port of Landshire to secure the Manifest Cogitator of the Trading and Commerce Guild, an uninfected civilian data engine capable of running the weapons grid. They will have to cut deep into enemy territory, secure the objective, and then hold it at all costs while waiting for support. Support which, in all likelihood, will never come. Stay tuned in just a couple of weeks as we continue the count of the Mark of Calth.
Officer of Record, start the mark.
Hey guys, Editor Lachie here. A huge thank you for taking this journey with us. I hope you guys loved the first installment. Make sure you go and check out the second episode right now over on Broadsword Wargaming, and please let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed this big opening act. This campaign has been in the works here at Zorpazorp for nearly 2 years, and it has been an insane investment. It cost a lot of time and money, so if you loved what you saw, it would mean so much to us if you would like the video, comment down below, and please share it with your friends. Let's get the Heresy hype machine rolling, people. And if you're really impressed, you're more than welcome to throw us a few dollars on Patreon to help support the ongoing journey. A huge thank you to all my amazing patrons who support me. Your backing is so damn essential, and oh man, we have so much coming. Another 30 videos for the Mark of Calth campaign, and then even more beyond. If you love narrative, if you love story, and if you love heresy, then strap in, folks. The Horus Heresy is here to stay. I also need to give a quick thank you to some very special lads, my very own Zorpazorp Mournival, Davey Davinator Taggart Atkinson, Andy Medium Rare to Well Done, Daniel Itap Leaper, Andrew Titan Lego, Adam What a Wise Man, Felix Rowboat Isaiah, and Tim What Bearman Paints 25,000 points in Mechanicum Karublo. You guys have been an amazing support over the past 2 years. Thank you for your wisdom, your brushwork, and your patience. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It genuinely means so much to Ollie and I, so make sure you like the video, subscribe, and comment down below your favorite Space Marine vehicle to go in the draw for the second massive Heresy prize pack. And always remember to let the galaxy burn.
We march for Calth.